Alright, this should be good. Alright. What is up, guys? It is I, Marco. And today's been kind of cool. The main thing right now is I drank a beer pretty much and took a blinker, and I've been feeling okay right now. So I was like, when is the best time to make videos? When you're under the influence so you can remember all your fuck ups. Anyways, the point of this video is there is no point. Shit, life is weird. Like, I remember I used to make videos sort of like this, but even then, they would kind of just be just for me. Like, I wouldn't post them. And I think a lot of it is eventually kind of discovering your own whatever. I've been watching a lot of shit. I try to be introspective. I try to think about things a lot. I think about things all the time, which is why things like alcohol and weed are good, in my opinion, because they make the little voice shut up. Like, I understand it now. Like, there's things that like make you click. Like, I was having a conversation that I wasn't really enjoying that much, and so my instinct was to eat the habanero that was there, and it put me through misery, and I was shitting miserably for a while. But the point is, I ate a habanero to avoid something I didn't want to endure, which is kind of like the same thing as weed and alcohol and playing video games, porn, whatever your shit, your cup of tea is. Maybe you like dabbling in a little bit of all of it. I don't know. Life is weird now, where I don't understand no one has the answers. So you kind of make the answers now. And so these things exist. There's a lot why they exist in this universe. I don't know. I think the point of living is to experience. I think that's my main definition of living right now, is to experience. And even then, I don't know, because life is weird. Like, you can dedicate your whole life to a job. You might not have that many friends. Maybe you have one or two coworker friends that you really hang out with, or you spend your whole life with your wife and your kid, or I don't know. All those different fantasies might work for someone, but to someone else, it might look like hell. And so I think that's where I'm kind of at, is I know I'm in heaven, but heaven can look like hell depending on how you treat yourself and believe in yourself. I don't remember what I saw, but there's a video I saw on Instagram or something, and it was like, the devil doesn't want you to love you. The devil doesn't want you to love yourself. And I'm not, trying to be religious, but we know there's negative things in the world. And so what do? We create an absolute unit of condensity. And so I think that's how we interpret the devil. You can call it whatever you want. Karma, the bitch earth, I don't know. You can call it whatever you want. You can make terms for it. You can redefine it and make it your own thing. You get to make your own dictionary and your own words and your own philosophy. And that's the beautiful part of life, is the more you keep discovering more and more, it's like, I don't really know there is no point of life. I'm going to die one day. I don't want to work my entire life. So I'm doing shit that I don't regret anything so far in life. I don't think I will regret anything in life, because I have had a lot of fuck ups in life, but I still wouldn't trade them, because they've made me the person I am today. And without those things, without those revelations, without being a bad person, without having these flaws, without being depressed, and without feeling self-guilt or all these other things that are bad. And that's the best part. I think everyone can relate to what I'm saying, and in the same time, I'm gonna get so much hate. But to combat that, I know it's the balance, because everything's a balance, and you're gonna get hate regardless. Like, I was trying to support my friend, and someone found my phone number and like texted me, but one, you don't know the whole story of what happened. Two, why didn't you just text me on Instagram? Why are you trying to be anonymous? You're trying to be anonymous. You're anonymous and you're spreading hate. And so I didn't reply. I just deleted the message. And that's how easy it is to move on from things. And that's what I want you to take away from that. It was a small moment of my day, but also that there is no winner in an argument. Remember that. You know why? You want to know why there's no winner in an argument? It's for this one reason. Both sides think they're right. And if both sides think they're right, nothing's gonna get done. And so neither side has won. If you cannot cooperate, I really like life. It feels like you're a kid, and then you're a boy, or you're a baby kid, and then you're a boy, and then you're tween, and then you're like 19, and you're like, ha ha ha, this is the final year, I can call myself a teenager. And then you're 20, then you're 21, I'm 21 right now. And even now, I feel old. I feel young, but I feel old. Because I don't really know. Now it's more... Okay, here's how I would describe life. Story mode. And then... New Game Plus, maybe. I don't know. Maybe my first 21 years... I would say I've been so... It's more of that, where you're relying on everyone else to kind of teach you everything. Your parents, remember as a kid, you used to look up to your parents, you used to look up to superheroes, you used to look up to things, and then as you age, you kind of see, you pierce the veil. And I think that happens multiple times in life, where you realize, oh shit, I'm stuck under another curtain, or another route, or another trap door. I love Binding of Isaac, and I've been playing it since 2016 at least, and yeah, I really like that game. That I will even defend how long I've played it, because I remember I already talked about this in the last video. I really like that game, and if you haven't played it, you should play it. One of the things I really like the idea of is like Jesus, and like he was hanging out with like hookers and like people who steal, and like the degenerates of life, not the best people, or even just this. Okay, like I don't read the Bible that much. I see some quotes sometimes. I'll see something that like and so I like relating it back to that, because I feel like God, one thing, regardless of what you believe in, a higher self is something I think we can all sort of believe in. I think if we could, and that's another thing, we all need to come to like common agreement of things. And I'm really excited, because I'm gonna get to the point where I don't care about it, and I'm just gonna create my own persona and environment, so it's gonna attract other people. And so you should do the same thing, because I'm learning, and even sometimes I feel this. Sometimes I'm learning shit, I'm like, oh, this is like good shit. Like, I don't even know if I would want to tell other people, because like, this is interesting shit. Like, this is actually like, if I apply this to my life, maybe it will work. And then it kind of gets to that hard point where you can see the greed of man, It's easy. But remember, even when you're just a little bit kind, that kindness is always paid tenfold out. Even if you don't even think of it like that, but you already know inherently good outweighs evil. We know that inherently. And so when you start doing those things, regardless, you'll still feel it. I believe in hope. I believe in change. I believe in reformation. I believe that things will happen and things will change and progress and evolve, and regardless of who and what, you'll get to the point you want to be as long as you put in the effort. And so far in my life, it's been sort of true. I feel like I've had, like, as a kid, I've always wanted, like the girlfriend, like music, YouTube. That was kind of like my dream back then. I don't really know what else. Maybe finishing school, having a job, providing myself. Those are another big three I need to get to. And even then, I hope school is still relevant. I hope, cause like there's been a big push off of like school and stuff. I think there really has been, especially with ChatGPT and shit. But I think it might get to the point where it might get to the point where it's like only the people who really care, and that might be a dwindling number. But the people who do care will leave an impact, and it might be erased all one day. The Nazis burning books or some shit. My everything is on YouTube right now. It might be gone one day. When is YouTube gonna be bought by like the government or a military agency who uses all of our information and data points of every comment and video and like and every transaction we have ever done? They probably already do this. And how can they utilize this to extract every vital information and data point they can ever have on us, so they always know what to expect of us? We might already be there. But when I think these thoughts, all I can imagine is, if I'm imagining these thoughts, this is because I got these thoughts from my environment, which means these thoughts have already been in the environment longer than my understanding has, which means other people have already thought these thoughts, which means groups of people have thought these thoughts, which means malicious intention. I don't know. It's kind of hard getting to that point because I'm at the divide of, I'm a man. I wanna have a platform. I wanna be able to impact other people. I want to create a community that brings people together and be like, yeah, we're all kind of chill. We do stupid shit every once in a while, but we're still good people. We try, and every day is trying. And I think the more conscious, the more consistent and conscious you are every day, it's going to really elevate your life, because it will just provide you with what you need. Sometimes I'm just feeling so down, and I just remember I need to be grateful, and then I'll start thinking about, like, what if my parents died, and then I start crying, and that makes me so sad because I can't imagine life without them. And life is preparing me, because one day they're not going to be there, and I'm not going to have someone to fall onto. And everyone has their own, it might not be your parents, it might be whatever. And it's always at different lengths, Sometimes it's about that girl you like, sometimes it's about your parents, sometimes it's about death, sometimes it's about God, sometimes it's about purpose. But you don't stop thinking, because what else is there to do? I'm gonna create because I'm at the point where my eternal, like, it's kind of cool. I like, as much as you want to be vengeful or hateful or cynical or bring pain onto the world, and I think those things exist in this world inherently. But that doesn't mean we need to add to it. There's always going to be sickness and illness. We don't need to kill each other. Maybe we need to be a little more smarter. Maybe we need to learn and educate our people. But I think we will. I think eventually we will get to the point where I think it's going to be more evolutionary kind of way, where, because like at the people at the top, because how I feel is I would want to be a good person and let these people kind of build their way up to the top, because I don't know, life can be any second now. I can die any second now. What do I want out of life? Do I want money? What do I need? Money buys moments. Money buys happiness. How? Through transaction of feelings, emotions. What am I craving right now? I am content right now because I am making a video and I am expressing myself in a positive manner. And when you learn to express yourself in a positive manner, it is very impactful. And I saw some shit. I don't remember who it is. I think it's like Shiva or some shit, but it's like some Hindu god. And they're the most peaceful motherfucker there is. They're humble, they're whatever, but they're compassionate. But they have like their fucking knife of death and shit, and like the most. It is a balance. It is like fucking Thanos, you know. You have to balance the scale of authority, creativity, you know, ignorance. You need to balance all these different things. It kind of sucks now because now I feel like I became the brain, and now I gotta reorganize myself to have better thoughts. And okay, that's another thing too. I don't like prison. My friend is in jail and he is awaiting whatever. That's not the point of the video. That is a very sensitive matter to me, and what happens, whatever, you know. I'm not even in the immediate family, so I don't know how that affects. But that's what I want to say, that my friend who is in jail, you know, I'm not a main character in his life, you know. I'm just a guy in his life. And even then, you know, I'd consider us pretty good friends. And like, I didn't know any of this shit was going on with him. None of our like friends, and a lot of us just keep this shit buried in, and eventually it peaks through as cancer. It's cancerous. It's all this raw emotion you don't positively let out, and it turns into a cancer. You want to hurt someone, or you want to be. All right, my bad. My phone died. But yeah. I don't know. Prison, you can get into a lot of these are the fun topics, you know, the morally gray ones. Also, sorry, my phone died. That's why. Whatever. But it's all right. We're all people at the end of the day, and we've all been abused. We've all been abused, and we've all been abusers to some degree. And the worst part is, we know a lot of people get away with it. It could be your own abusers. It could be, you could look at Donald Trump. You can look at anything. The prison. When you think of prison, when you think of jail, I think of these things, I think of slavery. The 13th, whatever. It don't matter. That's a lot of people fuck up. You might drink and you might drive. You might accidentally kill someone. That was not your intention. Does that mean your whole life should be ruined? This is where the fun questions come in. And you can, these are all specific. You gotta go one by one with all these cases, because it all depends on kind of the perpetrator, it depends on the situation, it depends on all these different factors. And it mainly just depends if the person is sorry. And I think if a person is sorry, that is the biggest thing. And if you, it's hard to, you know, kind of, anyone could say they're sorry, but you know, how do you actually define sorry? And I think that's why we're allowed to have these horrible mega prison complexes, because it is hard to prove innocence. It is hard to prove, that reformation, and these systems already don't encourage it, because if you're in America, you make more money for the government in prison than you do whatever. And if you're a fucking deadbeat, so they will happily, send your ass to jail, because these private corporations, well, they make money off you, and then they get to do whatever they want with you. They might, and you're gonna go get booty raped in jail and prison.
Come out to play. Ow! So you want to do it the hard way, huh? I got it for you hard. Don't drop the soap, Carl. I want that booty, Tom.
You can't have my booty!
Oh, yeah, I can.
The booty is mine. It belongs to me. You cannot take my booty. The booty is mine. It belongs to me. You cannot
you
take
think.
my booty. You can't have it.
I don't know. I ain't been to prison, but I'm imagining it ain't that fun. I'm imagining a lot of booty being snatched. a lot of booty, just booty everywhere. Just like a what's her name? Nicki Minaj.
Bitch. Hi.
Like a Nicki Minaj music video or something. I imagine, that's what I imagine. It's just a gay ass. Cause me personally, I want to live on the outside. I rather have women and the beauties of life. And in prison is kind of gay, so prison's gay as well. The more you know. Anyways, I think that's been a good conversation. It's really hard to make videos. The main reason is because I don't really know what do people like? What is, like, I'm seeing, like, even just on, it's all sad and it's all just mid. Like, I don't even want to watch the shit I'm watching most of the time. And so that's why I also don't feel bad making this like this, because this is just you talking to your friend pretty much, which I would want to do. So, hang out with friends. I know it's so hard. Why do you think I make these videos? Because I rather talk to a camera than talk to my friends. But, maybe you just need more friends. I don't know. Life is okay. It's going one by one. It's okay when you drink. It's okay when you smoke. Try to put those things off to as long as you can. But if we're going to have an open and honest conversation, you need to have an open and honest conversation, which is something everyone lacks because they're such hypocritical monsters. They refuse to look themselves in the eyes. If you look someone in their eyes and they can't hold it back, or they get scared, or they get ashamed, or they're mad, it's because they can't even look at themselves. I'm barely getting, to the point where I can look at myself. So it is a time, and everyone's learning at different speeds. I feel like a smart person. I was taught as a kid, you're gifted, you're smart. So I've always kind of felt smart. And in that way, I also feel like I'm gotta be compassionate. I gotta be all these things, kind of like a psychopath or a sociopath, where you kind of have to build these paths manually, especially in this day and age, because we're so disconnected from everyone. I think that's the main point, is these things do come naturally. The point is we're so separated, and everything has been digitized and sold back to you. Our conversation right now is a transaction between me, you, and YouTube, I guess. And even then, I'm not making anything off this, but I want to, which is that's the other kind of point. Um, people can make fun of me, they can say whatever, whatever, but this is just a hobby, which is the best part. It's a hobby, but it's also something I'm gonna pursue, it's something I really care about. And I'm gonna get to a point where I want it to be, a livelihood or even something sustainable, just anything where I just want to get to the point where I can feel like I can build something myself and know I'm successful in that manner. What's wrong with that? That's my goal. And I'm gonna do that in multiple facets. I want to do this through YouTube. I want to do this through music. I want to be able to. It's a lot of therapy too, and that's the best part. Is life is expression. Life is adventure. Life is beauty. So explore it. I really hope you enjoy your life because I know I'm not really in it. And that sucks because I always wanted to be in your life. And that's kind of weird to say because, but this is our little moment where I am in your life because I know you'll never be there for me. And that's kind of weird. And yet I'm still going to put things out because I have enough hope and I have enough faith that it will be worth it one day. I don't know why, but I just believe. So keep believing, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because if you can believe through the hardest times, you will be unbreakable. And so, with much love, I shall send you a farewell.